Today I want to share with you how you can make and keep goals that you set in your business. This is how successful people do it. And it's really something I wished I'd known when I started my business. My name is Chaz Wilson, president and founder of Master Networks, Blue 42 Agency, and Wilson Leadership Coaching. Recently I just took my boys out and we were shooting archery, and we had this target that was out in front of us. And what's really important to understand is that the target never changed. It was there, it was the same size, we never moved it. But as they struggled to either hit it or whatever, we moved further back as they got better, we moved up close, or as the wind came, we changed direction, etc. But the target remained the same. And in business, that's something to keep in mind, is never lower or move that target down just because you're not achieving it. You then have to, create different effort to hit that target. It was a number of years ago when my kids were much smaller. We lived in Minnesota before we relocated here to Texas. And we had talked about relocating our business to Texas for multiple reasons. One is I was coming here all the time to teach and to expand our business. But the second was it would help us grow our business being in a more centralized part of the country with a big metro hub. So we set a target, we set a goal. That goal was we had to hit 1,000 members of our organization before we could move to Texas. Now, why 1,000? Well, 1,000 was something that was a stretch for us, right? It was something that was big. It's sort of that concept for me. You've probably heard the phrase, aim for the moon, and even if you fall short, you'll land amongst the stars. I don't really buy into that concept because, yes, I believe in setting massive, big goals, but they need to be achievable. Because if it's so big that I already know going into it I'm not going to achieve it, then every goal you set here going forward, you already have self-defeated knowing you're not going to achieve those goals. That's not how I operate. I want to be able to set a goal that's big, that pushes, but that I will be able to achieve, because then I start to create a habit of success, right? Our thoughts lead to our actions lead to our habits, and our habits then, successful habits lead to a successful result. So I want to have the thought already going in that I'm going to stretch myself to achieve it. And then I start to create a habit that the goals that I set, I actually achieve. So it was 1,000. 1,000 was our goal. We set that, we knew it was a stretch. We're probably at like 700-800 people, which took us a handful of years to get to. So to go from like 700 or 800 to 1,000 still felt like it could be a year out before we hit that. And I'll never forget, as we were talking about moving to Texas, one night I'm sitting at the dinner table. Straight across from me is my oldest son. He's sitting at the other end of the table, and he stops. Hey, Dad, how many members do we have? As we were talking about going to Texas, he's like, how many members do we have? And you know what struck me and what hit me was the word we. It made me realize that this target, this goal that I had set for the organization, for our family, for others, that I was able to transfer that vision of the goal to them. So much so that my son was like, how many members do we have? And I think at the time he was probably like 12 or 13 years old. And so at 12 or 13 years old, he's like, how many members do we have? He's buying into the vision. There's two parts to this. As you set a goal, setting a target that you know you can achieve is one thing. And then the second part is being able to transfer the vision of that goal to those around you, that the goal is either important to be a part of or that they can help you get to that goal. So many of us want to take a goal and a target and a vision and say, here's what it is, here's what we're going to do. Or they don't even say anything. They just keep it inside and never share a goal or a target. I'm a firm believer that you should share the targets with those that it's important to, that it matters to, and that can be a participant in you helping you to achieve that goal. Now, if they're not, then I wouldn't share that goal, because remember, this is your goal, right? So if they don't have any part of this, don't share it with them. Setting the right target's key. Never change it, never lower it. Just increase the actions you take and track your progress to that. Number two, transfer the vision of that goal. Don't just tell people the goal. If they're involved in it, transfer the vision. In fact, one way to help transfer that vision is have them help author the goal. With those who author it, own it. So what do I mean by that? If I'm setting a goal that involves the team, well, I'm going to have them participate in that goal because they help set the goal, they help author it, now they own it. So that's the other part of it. If they need to be part of it, I'm going to have them author it, because then they can own it. And that's how I transfer that vision. Those are key elements to how successful people set and achieve their goals. Is they set the target, something that pushes them and motivates them, something that gets them out of bed. They never lower it, they expand it, and then they transfer the vision to others so that they can help move that along and help them achieve that goal. If this is helpful, again, subscribe, like our channel, and follow us for more content like this.